I was now listening to the news from Israel. They were talking about, in praise, it was a Haredi news channel, an Observer news channel, that there are these buses in New Jersey that have a Mechitza down the middle of the bus. Did you hear about this?
In New
Jersey?
Jersey?
You've heard about it?
In New Jersey?
There's like Tumansi.
Yeah, they're the special. They're only used by religious Jews. It's a private line of buses. It's not like Israel where government buses, they're trying to separate things. No, in Israel, what they're fighting about is sitting just not next to each other on the bus. Here, they have a curtain that goes down the middle of the whole bus.
Because the men daven.
I don't know what it's for.
No, they go to work and they daven on the bus.
Not this bus. This is maybe there's a bus
I'm
like
just
that.
saying. I'm not.
This is a 2 o'clock in the afternoon bus. No one's
Then they're doing mincha.
That's right.
There's always a davening time.
Woman can't see men.
So I'm not. Listen, I'm not talking about the Mechitza bus. I'm sure. I was listening to this and I'm thinking,
This is so funny.
what would Rabbi Uziel say about the Mechitza buses? I don't know. I can't really tell you. I don't know. We'd have to ask him. But I see what Judaism is becoming. My wife sent me a great picture from New York, and do you know what a gemach is?
Yes. We have one here.
What is the definition of a gemach? Gemilut chasadim, doing acts of kindness. In Jewish circles, there's always been a thing called a gemach, which means, my rabbi's wife. Right, there's a gemach here in San Diego, but the gemach here in San Diego doesn't operate like a normal gemach.
It's like a thrift store, right?
It's see that.
No, it's for free. You don't have to pay.
Oh, I don't pay anything. Okay.
It's not a gemach. I mean, it's called a gemach. It does do gemach stuff. I'm not taking away from it. I'm saying that the traditional model of gemach is different than what we're talking about. You have a gemach book. Let's say you go to Bnei Brak, you ask for the gemach book, and it's a huge book, maybe like this size, of different people who have different gemach. So Rabbi Peretz's wife, for example, she has what's it called? A pacifier gemach.
Yes, I just wanted to say that exists.
Which she has a box outside of her door. The whole Rabbi Peretz lights Hanukkah candles there during Hanukkah, but the rest of the year it's empty. And she has brand new pacifiers there. Yeah. So what happens when 3 o'clock in the morning, your baby's crying, you can't find the pacifier, there's no store that's open. You open up the gemach book, pacifiers, it'll tell you, oh look, on this street there's a pacifier gemach, on this street, and you just go to the house, you don't knock on anyone's door, you take a pacifier, and when you have the chance, you'll return the pacifier to the gemach so the next person can have it. Or, my wife's wedding dress, so she got it and she wore it and then she donated it to a gemach, which means that now if there's a bride that's going to come and get married, she doesn't have to spend X amount of money on a gemach, and she wears this dress. Okay, listen, I didn't say I'm a supporter of the San Diego gemach. I'm saying that whereas the San Diego gemach does many things, their gemachs are normally focus on one thing. And if you need a loan, there's a loan gemach that I remember in yeshiva we had a rabbi who he would ask us every month for $100. That's it, whatever it was, $50, $100. And so then he'd get a few $1,000s, and somebody would come there for a loan, and he would give them, let's say, $1,000, and he would say it has to be back within 30 days. And 30 days later, the guy brings back the money. And let's say he wasn't going to get his paycheck for 2 weeks, or whatever it was. So he'd bring back the money when he had the money, and then we'd all get our $100 back. So that means that for a month we gave up $100, but it was used to help 2 or 3 or 4 different families in that matter of a month. So you're giving tzedakah, but you're not losing any money, if you can imagine that. I mean, there's such a thing in the world. Gemach. Why am I telling you about gemach?
Jewish family service does that here.
Okay, no, so why am I talking about a gemach? My mind is...
What do you do with the books? Gemach for books?
We talked about the bus.
The Mechitza. The bus for the Mechitza.
That Devorah sent you.
Oh yes, a gemach. My wife took a picture in New York. It's called the Tznius Alteration Gemach.
What?
There are tailors, or I know you call a lady tailor, tailor also, seamstress. There you go, where they volunteer. They'll tell you buy a skirt, and you want to make it longer so it covers your knees, so you can bring it in. They'll do it for free. Anything that will make the clothing more modest will. And then, okay, so listen, I'm looking at all these things, and I'm wondering, in 2015, we've honed in on certain things that are important for the Jewish community. I don't know if it's kosher, or Shabbat, or dressing a certain way, but the other 611 mitzvot, or 610 mitzvot, we've thrown them to the wayside. And sometimes I wonder, Rabbi Uziel, it's not that he would say, what's a mechitza on a bus for? But he would say, have you finished everything else that you need to be doing in your Jewish life? That now all you have left to do is, we're missing a mechitza on the bus. It's not a matter of, what he argues. What are our priorities? When someone comes to a neighborhood in Jerusalem and they're not dressed a certain way, and so someone heckles them. Right? So what does that mean? That means that we've made one value more important than 15 other values in the Torah, which would mean not to heckle somebody, not to make someone feel bad, not to embarrass them, not to whatever it would be. And so when I talk about Rabbi Uziel's values, it's just a matter of prioritizing what it is that we think. And Rabbi Uziel was a threat, and I think Rav Yosef Mashash was a threat, and Rabbi Chaim David Halevy, whose books I told you we collected, he's a student of Rabbi Uziel, he was a threat. And Rabbi Shalom Mashash, the blue set up there, he was a threat. And that's why if you go to any Jewish library in the world, you won't find these books. Because they were threats, and they were removed.